honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. Bless everyone present today, that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant good health and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for the wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer in your name. Amen.
Good morning. Before we start, may we request the back secretariat to conduct a roll call and record the attendance, determine if we have a quorum.
Good morning. For today's pre-bid conference, the following are the attendees. Back Chairperson, Engineer Arman E. Barreta.
Present.
For regular back members, Engineer Joanna Marie Manaog,
Present.
Engineer Sheila Marie Pasino. For provisional back member, Engineer Nilbert Alvarez.
Present.
For TWG members, Engineer Jayalyn Alba, Engineer Mark Anthony Bayos, Engineer Siren Cañeso, Engineer Marie Ivy Saliva. For Back Secretariat Head, Engineer Maria Chini Legacion, Engineer Elizabeth Olieres, Ms. Dolores Casiao, yours truly Micaela Mencero, and Engineer Broylan Herno. That's all po. Thank you.
As per attendance, we have a quorum, so I hereby call this pre-bid conference to order at 10:07 a.m. We are convened today, May 28, 2026, at Procurement Office, DPWH Camarines Sur 5th District Engineering Office for the pre-bid conference for the project entitled Contract ID 25FN0057. Name of contract: maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation of infrastructure facilities, public buildings, repair or maintenance of DOJ building, Hall of Justice, Municipal Trial Court, MTC Annex building. Location: Barangay San Isidro, Iriga City, Camarines Sur. Scope of work: repair or maintenance of DOJ building, Hall of Justice, Municipal Trial Court, MTC Annex building. With an approved budget for the contract of 2,181,000 pesos. With contract duration of 60 calendar days. Source of fund: SR 2025-03-007361. May we call on the TWG to discuss the contract data.
Good morning. For contract ID 25FN0057, name of contract, maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation of infrastructure facilities, public buildings, repair/maintenance of DOJ building, Hall of Justice, Municipal Trial Court, Annex building. Locations: Barangay San Isidro, Iriga City, Camarines Sur. Scope of work: repair/maintenance of DOJ building, Hall of Justice, Municipal Trial Court, Annex building. Approved budget for the contract: 2,181,000 pesos flat. Contract duration: 60 calendar days. Size range: small b. Source of fund: SR 2025-03-007361. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000. Thank you.
To discuss to cover requirements for bidding documents, may we turn over the discussion to the end-user representatives.
Under section 15.5, in case of permanent structures such as building of types 4 and 5 as classified under the National Building Code of the Philippines, and other structures made of steel, iron, or concrete which comply with relevant structural codes. Example, DPWH standard specification such as but not limited to steel or concrete bridges, flyovers, aircraft, movement areas, ports, dams, tunnels, filtration and treatment plants, separate system, power plants, transmission and communication towers, railway system, and other similar permanent structures is 15 years. Pro contract ID number 25FN0057, the scope of works are repair or rehabilitation of classrooms. Major categories of work of the contract to be procured is BIR, buildings repair, unit of measure, story, dimension is 1. Similar major categories of work are BIRTH, building retrofitting high-rise. Another one, BIRTH16, buildings retrofitting high-rise 16 and above stories. Another one, BIRTM, buildings retrofitting medium-rise 6 to 15 stories. Another one, BIRTL, buildings retrofitting low-rise 1 to 5 stories. Another one, BICWPL-CDP, building construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame driven piles 1 to 5 stories. Another one, BICWP-CDP, building construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame driven piles 6 and above stories. Another one, BICWP-CDP 16, building construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame driven piles 16 above stories. Another one, BICWP-LCCP, building construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame cast in place piles 1 to 5 stories. Another one, BICWP-CCP, building construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame cast in place piles 6 and above stories. And last, BICWP-CCP 16, building construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame cast in place piles 16 and above stories. Another 7 categories of work are BIRTH, building construction with high-rise. Another one, BICWPL-SDP, building construction with pile, low-rise steel frame driven piles 1 to 5 stories. BICWP-SDP, building construction with piles, high-rise steel frame driven piles 6 and above stories. BICWP-CDP 16, building construction with piles, high-rise steel frame driven piles 16 and above stories. BICWP-SCP, building construction with piles, low-rise steel frame cast in place piles 1 to 5 stories. BICWP-SCP, building construction with piles, high-rise steel frame cast in place piles 6 and above stories. BICWP-SCP 16, building construction with piles, high-rise steel frame cast in place piles 16 and above stories. BICW OPLS, building construction without piles, low-rise steel frame, 1 to 5 stories. Number 1, BICW OPS, buildings, construction without piles, high-rise, steel frame, 6 and above stories. Another one, BICW OPS 16, building construction without piles, high-rise, steel frame, 16 and above stories. Another one, BICW OPLC, building construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. BICW OPHC, building construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame. BICW OPH16, building construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 16 and above stories. BICW PMCDP, building construction with piles, medium rise concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. BICW PMCCP, building construction with piles, medium rise concrete frame, cast in place piles, 6 to 15 stories. BICW PMC, building construction without piles, medium rise concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. BICW PMSDP, building construction with piles, medium rise steel frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. BICW PMSCP, building construction with piles, medium rise steel frame, cast in place piles, 6 to 15 stories. BICWO PMS, building construction without piles, medium rise steel frame, 6 to 15 stories. BIC, building completion. BIRN, building renovation. BIRS, building restoration.
Now we turn over the discussion to TWG to cover the bid data sheet of the contract.
Good morning. Section 3 of bid data sheet. For contract ID number 25FN0057, only accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects subject to the following limits of assignment. For project engineer 2, limits of assignment, 10 contracts located within the same province for simultaneous assignments, each costing more than 150 million. For project engineer 1, 11 contracts located within the same province for simultaneous assignments, each costing more than 150 million. For provisional project engineer, 10 contracts located within same province for simultaneous assignments, each costing less than 100 million. As per DO 148 series of 2024 and DO 227 series of 2024, applicable for buildings and bridges. For the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel, the required is 50% of ABC of each contract. For project manager and project engineer, general experience is 5 years and relevant experience is 3 years. Attach valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. Project engineers and materials engineers must be accredited by the DPWH and must attach the accreditation. For materials engineer, 3 years of general experience and 3 years also for relevant experience. For safety and health officer, 5 years general experience and 3 relevant experience. Safety officer with attached certificate of training issued by the DOLE and valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. Certified first aider with attached certificate of training issued by the Red Cross and valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. For foreman, 5 years general experience and 3 years relevant experience. Also attach valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. For additional requirements for contractors key personnel, number 1, the affidavit of commitment to work must include each personnel's tax identification number. Number 2, The list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract must include their qualification data or curriculum vitae. Number 3, an affidavit stating that the pledged project engineer and materials engineer's number of projects handled simultaneously does not exceed 10 contracts. Number 4, submission of professional tax receipt for applicable personnel. Number 5, firm's DOLI certificate of registration in compliance to Rule 1020 of the Labor Code of the Philippines. Number 6, implementation of ISO 9001 series of 2015, certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors for DO 110 series of 2024.
For the minimum major equipment required for 25FN 0057, prospective bidders may view it on the bid data sheet clause 12.1 H3 of the each bidding documents posted in the DPWH and PhilJEP's website. List of contractors' equipment pledged for the contract must be filled out completely and properly. Submitted proof of ownership must be specified and indicate the model or year, capacity, performance, size, plate number, motor number, body number, chassis serial number, engine serial number, specific location and condition per Department Order 58, Series of 2012. The contractor is required to provide proofs of ownership and other supporting documents for the equipment owned. Lease agreement for equipment to be leased and or under purchase agreement. Must also submit certificate of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. Accreditation of asphalt and Portland cement concrete batching plants in the procurement of contracts for infrastructure works shall be imposed pursuant to DO number 253, series of 2003. Bidders are reminded that only concrete and asphalt mixes produced by duly accredited plants shall be used in DPWH projects. Accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award subject to DO number 241, series of 2024, guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of Construction Safety and Health Program, or CSHP, for DPWH infrastructure projects. First aider with certificate of training issued by Red Cross in compliance to DOLE requirements for the approval of Construction Safety and Health Program required upon issuance of notice of award subject to DO 241 series of 2024. Guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of Construction Safety and Health Program for DPWH infrastructure projects. The DPWH approved CSHP is a requirement for the processing and approval of the contract agreement. Moreover, no claims by the contractor, advance payment, or first progress billing shall be processed and paid without the submission of DPWH approved CSHP. Minimum material testing equipment requirements for the project for the medium contractors per DO number 11, series of 2017, and DO 127, series of 2018, strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. Bids will be valid until 120 calendar days from the date of opening of bids.
Discontinue discussion of documents to be submitted by the bidders and criteria and procedure for eligibility check preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award.
Good morning. For technical documents, Class A documents, legal documents, first, valid PhilJEPS registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Bidder should make sure that Annex A of PhilJEPS certificate must reflect updated dates, and letter B, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Department of Trade and Industry, for sole proprietorship or cooperative development authority, for cooperatives or its equivalent document, letter C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas, and letter D, tax clearance per EO number 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, letter E, notarized statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. If any, please take note that the list of the projects you are submitting shall match in date that reflected on your contractor's registration certificate or contractor information in civil works application, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be. Letter F, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules, and must be supported by the contractor performance evaluation system, with rating at least satisfactory for DPWH or government contracts, or an honor certificate of final acceptance or equivalent for private sector contracts. And letter G, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board license or special pickup license in case of joint ventures, and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And H, original copy of bid security. If in the form of surety bonds, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And letter I, projects requirements, which shall include the following. Number 1, organizational chart for the contract. Number 2, list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their qualification data. Number 3, list of contractors' major construction equipment units to be assigned with the contract supported by certifications of availability. Number 4, list of contractors' minimum materials testing equipment units to be assigned to the contract supported by certifications of availability. Letter J, original duly signed Omnibus 1 statement, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture given full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. And letter K, affidavit of site inspection which states that a signatory is a proprietor or duly authorized representative of bidder. Letter B, conducted site inspection. Letter C, bidder was accompanied by representatives from DPWH and LGU barangay during project site was appropriate and compliant to the published plans and POW. Can immediately commence work when awarded. Letter F, attach printed geotag photography of bidder with representatives from DPWH and LGU and inspection. Letter G, statement is part of technical proposal for the project. Official request must be submitted 7 days before the schedule of bidding. Letter L, latest general information sheet duly received by Securities and Exchange Commission. Letter M, sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. For financial documents, the prospective bidders' audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited authorized institution for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission, and the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity. For Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly authorized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the joint venture agreement in the instance that the bid is successful. Contractors, construction safety and health program, and if applicable, straight line diagram. Accredited contractors, consultant, project engineer as per DO 148 series of 2024. Sworn of disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership as per section 81.1 and section 82 IRR of RA number 12009. For financial envelope, letter A, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and letter B, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, and letter C, duly accomplished detailed estimates form including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid and cash flow by quarter. All pages must be numbered, paginated consecutively at the top handwrite margin, each page signed by bidder below page number and the total number of which must be indicated on the covering page and signed by the duly authorized representative. All sets of documents, financial and technical envelope must be properly book bounded pursuant to DPWH DEO number 90 series of 2002. Use checklist of the technical and financial envelopes here to attach in section 9 bidding forms and shall be included as first page of the book bounding of each envelope with ear tabbing labeled for each checklist.
For criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award. Bidders should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in section 2 of the invitation to bid. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act or NGPA. The contract shall be awarded to the lowest calculated responsive bidder or LCRB who was determined as such during the post-qualification. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens or sole proprietorship, cooperatives, and partnership or organization with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 16. For the eligibility check, the BAC will determine the eligibility of the bidders based on the PhilJEP's registration on their legal aid documents, which should be maintained current and updated, including that of the civil work applications, which focuses on the NFCC, work experience, or single largest completed contract. To the contract for bidding at hand, BAC will ascertain based on the checklist of the required documents to be submitted using pass or fail criterion during the preliminary and detailed bid evaluation. In addition, after the opening of bids as per IRR of RA 12009, under Section 61, the BAC will conduct a detailed bid evaluation of all the bids using non-discretionary criteria wherein it requires the completeness of the bid. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order Number 127 Series of 2018 and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process, considering that officials or employees, including the concerned back members, will be liable to the administrative penalties this directive will not be followed. Then 10 calendar days upon receipt of the notice of award, the contractor must comply the documents needed in the notice of award for the issuance of contract agreement. In accordance with Section 52.6 of the RA 12009 IRR, the procuring entity can reassess a bidder's qualification at any stage of the procurement process if there are reasonable grounds to believe that the misrepresentation has been made by the said bidder, or if there has been a change in the bidder's capability to undertake the project from the time it submitted its eligibility requirements. If any false information or changes affecting eligibility are found, the bidder shall be disqualified from obtaining an award or implementing the contract, as the case may be, subject to the applicable rules under this IRR. The DPWH Camarines Sur 5th District Engineering Office, Camarines Sur, reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA 12009, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders.
Additional reminders. Three-strike policy in the procurement of contracts for infrastructure works, goods, and consulting services shall be imposed pursuant to DO number 35, series of 2008, as amended by DO number 28, series of 2024. Bidders are reminded on different offenses and penalties provided for in the revised IRR of RA 9184 and on the provisions governing the imposition of administrative sanctions for contractors who tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, except for valid reasons, pursuant to DO number 28, series of 2024. Classifications of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions. Number 1, withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. Number 2, submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the BAC. Number 3, submission of patently insufficient bid. Enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the three major offenses or acts listed above 3 times within a year starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike 1, first warning, which is counted as day 1 through day 365, and if these three offenses are of similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty. Suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidders, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of bid securing declaration conditions.
For the schedule, a complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidder on May 20 to June 10, 2026 until 9 a.m. only. From the address given below in the invitation to bid and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amounts stated also in the invitation to bid. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilJets and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee Secretariat through number 1, manual submission at the address indicated below, or online or electronic submission through Camarines Sur 5 at dpwh.gov.ph, as indicated below on or before June 10, 2026, until 10 a.m. only. Bid opening, bid opening shall be on June 10, 2026 at DPWH Camarines Sur 5 DEO, Santa Teresita, Bao, Camarines Sur, and or live streaming via YouTube channel https:/m.youtube.com/@dpwh.camsur5deo. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. Interested bidders may obtain further information from DPWH Camarines Sur 5th District Engineering Office, Santa Teresita, Bao, Camarines Sur, and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below in the invitation to bid from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That would be all.
Thank you for your discussions. Is there any questions, comments, or clarifications from the back members, the WG, back secretariat, and other participants of this pre-bid conference?
Is there any changes or corrections in plans, POW, BOQ calendar days for the proposed issuance of supplemental bid bulletin?
As per the implementing, there is none. If there is, it will be posted 7 days before the bidding date through bid bulletin or supplemental bid bulletin, if meron. Other questions or other matters to be discussed? Hearing none, this pre-bid conference is adjourned. Thank you.